What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? Happy Tuesday, June 1st to all of you. Thank you for watching Betting with the Bag right here on Pub Sports Radio. A giant week for us. We go Tuesday through Friday, MLB, NBA, NHL, and then on Saturday, baby, Saturday, the Belmont Stakes. And what a glorious race it's set up to be. Essential quality. Looking to be the fourth Tappet horse in the last 7 years to win the Belmont Stakes. You got Rombauer, winner of the Preakness. His jockey will be the Pratt, who won on him in the Preakness, will be riding Hot Rod Charlie, who looks very tough in this spot. Then you have two no-shows, highly thought of no-shows in the Kentucky Derby, in No One Agenda, who raced ninth, who should be able to handle the distance. And then Rock Your World, winner of the Santa Anita Derby, who had serious issues out of the gate, and there was no effort put in. 5 horses right there that all have a shot. Going to be extremely excited. We'll be all day, all night here hammering the horses on Saturday. But it's a new month. The sun is shining. I just kicked the pigeons off my deck. They were banging each other in the corner. They're out. Right mid-bang. Midday, they were not happy. They were nonplussed. I'm excited to be here with you guys. Our producer, Jose, on the ones and twos has hit 3 straight Say Hey plays of the day. He's now in plus units. Very, very exciting stuff here. I'm betting with the bag. I'm pumped up. I'm refreshed. I'm ready to rock and roll. There's Brian Watson in the house. Oh, also the North Ender. He's not coming up here on our comments here with the live viewer comments on StreamYard, but I owe North Ender $20. The Habs storm back and take out the Leafs. Shock and awe. Shock and awe. I'm lucky it only cost me $20. Shock and awe. Absolutely shock and awe. Man, Leafs got to take one hard, long look in the mirror. There's the star of the Die Hard MMA podcast, Clint, saying Islanders, baby. Yeah, that's shaping up to be a beauty series. And now, look, okay, so I'm not shaving until Nathan McKinnon holds the Stanley Cup over his head and I cash all my future bets, and the world is right. I'm not shaving until the Avalanche win the Stanley Cup. And it's a very easy route now, because next up will be, if they get through Vegas, next up will be the winner of the Habs Jets. So the Bruins and Lightning will have to face off. And remember, our gas station sushi is in that pool, $55,000 in the pool where you pick the two teams that will compete in the Stanley Cup, and it's Bruins Avalanche for him. And I thought, oh, well, he's going to have no chance because they'll play each other in the semis. No longer. There's Gavin Henry in the house, loving some races today, starting with Thistledowns pick 5, 3, 5, 6, 1, 6, 1, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 4. Nice $30 play. Gavin Henry gave us a Thistledown pick 5, late pick 5 winner on the horse show last week. So let me quickly copy and paste this glory right now. Let's get it here. Get this copied and pasted. When Gavin Henry throws out a multi, you follow. There we go. Copied and pasted right there. Thank you, Gavin. We got a huge MLB card, 3 NBA games, and 1 NHL game. I came close to betting in NHL, but I thought, you know what? Mr. Gogster has been so hot. I'll wait till we talk it out. Okay, and Parks, my fam, got a runner in the second. Manahawkin. And a late pick 5 there. Copied and pasted. Thank you, Gavin, for sharing your hard work with us. There's Viper NB in the house. Danny A ready to go. Christopher Gargaro, a ton of games today. Yeah, and I've made 4 bets in MLB. 2 on the same game, so 3 different games. There's other stuff I'm very interested in. And the main bet I made yesterday or last night was the Suns. I did get them at 5. I wish I got them at the 4, 4.5 like others, but I'm fine with the 5. LCS ready to go. Luke Murphy, we have an esteemed author in our graces. Ron Lofton, Yenny Toon, Rob Garvey. I had Twins, Rays, Giants probably yesterday, cashed out after the first inning of the Giants game. Beautiful. Good work, Rob Garvey. Yenny Toon. Yenny says, tailed Jimmy yesterday with Raves first 5. So, last week was just atrocious. I came into the week plus units. At one point, I was down just under 13 units. But we have climbed back a tiny bit. a tiny bit. We have hit how many straight? We've hit 5 straight. So we went 3-0 on Friday. I took Saturday and Sunday off. We went 2-0 yesterday. So we're trying to get back. Maxwell Smart got a juicy hitter to send you. Maxwell Smart plus 80 units on MLB props right now. Plus 80 units. There he is. North Ender in the house. North Ender, can you please email me? Please email me. JimmyTheBag at hotmail.com. I'll hook you up. Thank you, Danny. I don't pull it out often, but thank you. Thank you. They're swerving in the house. Mike Macklem ready to get to work. Gerald Jones, Bama boy. Jimmy Gomez, OG low bagger, being with us since the jump. All right, it is time to get to work. Let's just give a shout out to a few more cappers. I'm a little behind. K. Paul VIP in the house. We got a gape ready to eat. Jeff Joseph, best undercard of the year on Belmont Day. Also, Jimmy, we must confirm before the races. Absolutely, you know that we will. And I will expect, by my standards, to win his first grade 1 race. I know I was off him last out, but I will be moving on him. I will be. Yanni Toon says I wasn't shocked Leafs lost. No, God. You can't be shocked when this franchise loses. There's Hustle Wilson ready to get to work. Leroy Flood, Mr. Gogster, he will be on the show breaking down NHL. Razor Sharp Picks here joining us Wednesday night and Thursday night horse racing show here on Pub Sports Radio, hosted by the one and only Razor Sharp Picks. I will be on both those nights as soon as I get the kids to bed, and we'll be talking Belmont while I am there. There's Michael Ervolina said, didn't your son Jose bet against you with his Boston Bruins? Yes. He will lose. That's just a dinner. Because I told you guys, as soon as the border opens, I'm driving right down to the 101, Southtown 101. I'm driving right down to Slaughter's Bar in San Antonio. Straight. Well, no, I'll stop along the way. And there's North Ender says, are you still doubting when I tell you Nathan McKinnon is the best player on the planet? Look, yeah, I am, I guess. I don't know if he's quite at Connor McDavid yet. I mean, could you imagine what Connor McDavid would do on the line with Landeskog and Rantanen? But second best player on the planet. It's, he's incredible. Well, I have nothing negative to say about him. I think he's absolutely incredible. There is Puzzler ready to get to work. Okay, we have a lot of work to do. JT Slats, he says, best night of the year gambling, 6-0. Tell Jimmy and David Sharp and my Habs finished the job today. Canes minus 110 and Rays minus 117. Bet last night. Go Habs, go. Yes, I'm with you on the Canes, but I haven't pulled the trigger yet. I've not pulled the trigger yet. Polo this, polo that, ready to go. Jeff Joseph says, don't you think Nona Agenda will love the distance? Yes, I do. I think Nona Agenda will love the distance. I think Nona Agenda will be a wise guy horse. I think Nona Agenda will not be the long shot that some expect because he'll be a wise guy horse. And I think the horses that Nona Agenda beat in the Florida Derby it was the weakest Florida Derby we've seen in years. And we have a vividness bias of the Florida Derby being very strong. So, yes, I agree. Absolutely. Dennis Garcia says, fire everyone. Yes, there's a lot of Leafs fans that are nonplussed, not happy. Krishan says, would you consider limiting your MLB plays to 2-3? Seems like you have a lot more success when you are selective. Yes, I will consider that for sure. Jerry Beatty says, I'm struggling. Let's fix that right now. Ricky Bobby in the house. Fat Wally says, thanks for the breakdowns and love the hat. Respect and props to Guillermo Zertucci hitting the pick 6. I think it was a pick 5, right? Wasn't it pick 5? Pick 5 I think it was pick 5 at Santa Anita. Yes, our Guillermo Zertucci cashed for $3.3K yesterday at Santa Anita. B Fox, Marco Lou in the house says, I'll have another skinny pick 6 ticket for the Belmont Stakes. It's a $1 base. Yes. That's I like the $1 base. I like it. All right. And going to have a live interview with a jockey from Delaware Park this Wednesday for Razor Sharp Picks. All right. We got a lot of work to do. Thank you guys so much for joining us. North Ender says, shake my head, shake my effing head. I love McKinnon. But I don't know if he's better than McDavid at this point. I mean, look at the team the Avalanche have. Cale Makar, Samuel Girard on defense. I mean, they have a spectacular hockey team. So, okay. And Dennis says, stop McKinnon is way better than McDavid. All right. Okay, well, I hope he holds the Stanley Cup over his head. And I respect your guys' insights. Okay, let's get to work. Cole pitching tonight. Yankees underdog still. Yankees 4-game losing streak. I think Yankees will win tonight. We're going to break down all of these games. And we have the Dirty K prop. Wood over 5.5 and -125. Wood is 7+ and 4 straight in San Francisco. So Heaney is batting at least 2 times. That's a really good point. All right, we got the Dirty K prop here. I'm going to copy and paste this. And Williams Fun Video say, let's go win. Let's do this. Peter Loshak to return soon. He is to return soon, yes. We're very excited about that. Let me just pop that over the Angels game, and we will get to work. Here we go. That's 9:45 p.m. Eastern start. Okay, let's fire away. Jose's going to take over on the 1s and 2s with the comments, and let's fire. Let's fire. We start at 6:10 p.m. Eastern. Chicago White Sox at Cleveland Indians. White Sox 33-21, 13-12 on the road at the Indians. 29-24, 13-12 at home. We're at Progressive Field in Cleveland, Ohio. 70 Fahrenheit, mostly cloudy, 5 miles per hour in. Dylan Cease 3-1, 2.98 ERA, 1.27 WHIP, 51 and a third, 66 Ks, 26 walks, 4 home runs allowed on the season. He's been very good. And his last start was very good. He went 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 1 home run, solo shot, 2 walks, 10 Ks, and a 5-1 win at home versus the Orioles. He's going up against Shane Bieber. 5-3, 3.13 ERA, 1.21 WHIP, 72 innings, 110 Ks, 27 walks, 9 home runs. Last year's American League Cy Young Award winner. In his last start, he looked good at Detroit. 7 innings, 1 hit, 1 earned run, a solo shot, 4 walks, 12 Ks, and a 5-2 win at Detroit. White Sox are hitting 248, 726 OPS versus righties. Indians versus righties are hitting 216, 668 OPS. White Sox bullpen is getting much better quick. 3.65 ERA, 1.31 WHIP, converted 14 to 23 save opportunities. Indians bullpen 2.85 ERA, 1.22 WHIP. They've converted 17 of 19 save opportunities. Viper MB says the total's gone over in 6 of Cleveland's last 8 games at home. David Sharp says, I bet this last night. Was leaning Sox first 5 plus 130, but took the ball out of his hand and bet first 5 team total over White Sox. White Sox over 1.5 at plus 100. Now it's at minus 115. Martial Arts fan is on the White Sox at plus 1.5. Viper MB says Cleveland 5-2 straight up in his last 7 games when playing at home against Chicago White Sox. So White Sox are hoping to get Adam Engel back soon. That will help their outfield. As you guys know, Luis Robert, Eloy Jimenez have been out long term. Franmil Reyes and Ahmed Rosario remain out for the Cleveland Indians. Jeff Joseph says I see a lot of unders today, including this one. Let's take a quick look at the pitcher versus batter baseball data here. And we have, again, Cease. They're hitting 333 with an 893 OPS. Now, sample size isn't large for a division rival. They're 7 for 21 with the homer. The homer's from Bradley Zimmer. Jose Ramirez 0 for 5. And that's the first thing you look at when you think, will the Indians be able to get at the pitcher? And then against Bieber, 266, 762 OPS. So he doesn't dominate this Indians ball club. Carlos Jetton in the house. Great to see you. Joey Avang ready to get to work. David Sharp says White Sox have 3 batters with a plus 300 average in a big sample. Martial Arts fan says White Sox plus 135 sample. All right. Let's pull up what we are dealing with from a market perspective. This total opened at 7. It's now at 7.5. Cleveland opened up at minus 147. They're now at minus 149. So just a 2-cent move towards them. There's my guy Robert Allen in the house. Let's get the market moves on Sports Insights up here, ready to go. So, with all that being said, I can understand the move. I can understand the move on the White Sox. I can. But when you fade Bieber, you want to be rewarded for it. And when I was looking at it, it was plus 130. It's now plus 130. Oh, that's full game, plus 135. I don't know if that's a big enough risk reward for me. In the first 5, you're getting plus 140 for the White Sox. So we automatically think, well, what would you get with the plus a half if you think this is going to be a low-scoring game? And when it's a low-scoring game, they hurt you for that. Plus a half's minus 125. I guess, simply put, I don't think that's enough for me. If I had a free bet, sure, I would take the White Sox. I'd take the White Sox first 5. But with Bieber, At home, I want to be rewarded more than they are offering. So let me just pull up Sports Insight so we can get an idea. So I'm not going to bet it. I can understand everybody who is, but it's just simply just not enough of a reward for me. All right, let's just log in here. Take a quick look. And again, I think that there's been important points by the chat. Emily J. Blunt, one of our cappers, said that we're putting too much onus on the Sports Insights and on the market moves, and I don't think he's wrong. So let's see what's going on here with this White Sox spot. We have 28% of the money line cash on the White Sox, but 50% of the tickets. 59% of the money on the under, and yet it's going towards the over. It's very interesting. Carlos Jetton on the White Sox. And David Sharp says, White Sox first 5 team total 1.5 and plus 100. Take out the winner and ask for a 2-run shot. Plus a half was minus 120 last night, so money coming that way. I agree. Look, I agree. When Bieber's at home, it's a nice day. I like it, David. I like your action here. But if I'm going to fade the Cy Young Award winner at home, I just want a little more. I think it comes down to that. So there will be no move for me here. Talk Sports with JT likes the White Sox money line plus 136. Well, go get it. Go get it, you guys. There's CT Bays in the house. Great to see you, CT Bays. All right, we move on. 7 p.m. Eastern. Tampa Bay Rays at New York Yankees. We cashed the first 5 and full game double up on the Rays yesterday. It was nice. It was Rich Hill Day. Rich Hill took good care of us, as he does. Tampa Bay Rays, 35-20, 20-7 on the road at New York Yankees, 29-25, 15-12 at home. The Rays are rolling. I believe it's 16 of their last 17. Yankee Stadium in Bronx, New York, 71 Fahrenheit, mostly cloudy, 8 miles per hour, sideways out to left. Let's see what we are dealing with here. We have, over here. Okay. Glasnow versus Herman. So this total opened at 7.5. Pinnacle has now moved it to 8. They're the only book that's moved it to 8. Watch all the other books follow suit here in a second. If you like the over, if you want the over, bet it now because it's moving to 8. The Rays and Glasnow opened up at minus 125. They're now at minus 116. There's been a 12-cent move to Herman and the New York Mets. Robert Allen says, Rich Hill for mayor of Pub Sports Radio. I like it. Carlos Jetton says, the red hot Rays. Viper MB says, total's gone under in 11 of the Yankees' last 12 games. Holy shit, I didn't know that, Viper. Wow. All right, 71 Fahrenheit, mostly cloudy, 8 miles per hour, sideways out to left. Glasnow, 4-2, 2.57 ERA, 0.93 whip, 70 innings, 98 Ks, 23 walks, 9 home runs allowed. His last start was excellent. 8 innings, 3 hits, 0 earned runs, 2 walks, 11 Ks, and a 2-1 extra inning win at home over the Royals. Domingo Germán, 4-3, 3.06 ERA, 1.08 whip, 50 innings, 47 Ks, 9 walks, 9 home runs. We last saw him going up against the young Jays stud and allowing back-to-back shots. He went 5 2/3, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, both solo shots, 2 walks, 5 Ks, and a 2-0 extra inning loss at home versus the Jays in a 7-inning doubleheader. And the Rays are starting to smash righties. 236, 740 OPS. That number's climbing quickly. Yankees versus righties, 223, 686 OPS. Let's go to pitcher versus batter data here. And we have against Glasnow, 173, 528 OPS for the Yankees. Wow. 14 for 81. Against Herman, 300, 1.072 OPS. David Sharp says, I stayed off this game. I think it's a trap. Why is the team on a slump of minus 125 dog with Glasnow on the mound? Seems like they're asking for money for Glasnow. Should be minus 155 at least. Carlos Jetton says, I'm riding the Rays until they kick me off. I completely understand that. The fact that I doubled up and cashed is part of the reason why I'm a little hesitant to go right back to the well. But I understand what David Sharp's saying. This market move is a little shifty. Let's see where the money is here in this Yankee spot. Now, again, yesterday, there was money, most of the money, or more of the money was on the Rays than the Yankees, and yet the market move was towards the Yankees. And I didn't care. And my full game was minus 105. It quickly became plus 105. I got plus 105 on the first 5. and the Rays were in complete control in that game. Here on the money line, we have 69% of the money on the Rays, 62%. 69% of the tickets on the Rays, 62% of the cash on the Rays, and the market moved towards the Yankees. So this is the same thing that happened yesterday. Mike Macklem says Tampa Bay owns New York until they don't. Move to Yankees because they're so public. Well, we just saw on Sports Insights that most of the money is on the Rays, but I hear that. There's Big Show picks in the house. Great to see you, Big Show. Robert On says, you're giving me the Rays minus 120 with Glasnow on the mound. That's a little weird. I want to take the Rays, but it's a very suspicious line. David Trapp says, so Rich Hill's only a 20% difference than Glasnow? Come on, Trap. There's Bleds W ready to go. I am going to stay off, martial arts fan. I'm going to stay off. Carlos Jetton going Rays first 5 full game. I completely get back in the race here. I completely get it. And yet I can't do it. There's Don't Ask, Don't Tail in the house. I love our guy. Don't Ask, Don't Tail. Respect. Thank you for joining us, my man. CT Bays says, definitely agree. This is a funny line. Yankees are pass. Slat says, sometimes you got to ride the train until it stops, but I do hate that you're off it. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Look, they're winning. And Dennis Garcia says, the Belmont draw is complete. Let's see if we can just take a quick look at it, because I'm not going to move on Yankees Rays. All right, let's just take a quick look at the position draw for the Belmont Stakes very, very quickly here. All right, we got Bourbonic in the number 1 spot. Number 2, Essential Quality. Number 3, Rombauer in the 4 spot. Hot Rod Charlie at 7-2. It's a nice price. Then France, go to Ina in the 5 with Santana Jr. on him. Known Agenda at the 6. Rock Your World on the 7 spot. And Overtook on the 8. Wow, small field, but stacked. What a fun race that's going to be. There you go. We are up. And the favorite, Essential Quality, of course, 2-1. Jacksonville Zoe says, Sharpie, how dare you say that Glasnow is better than our man Phil? Gregory Simmons says, Rays, they've been playing better. Look, they're playing great. But I cashed yesterday on them, doubled up on them, and I'm just not going to go back to the well. I will cheer for them, for you guys, but I'm not going to go back to the well. Okay, let's move on to 7:05 p.m. Eastern. That is next up for us. Minnesota Twins, 22-31, 10-14 on the road at the Baltimore Orioles, 17-37, 6-19 at home. There's Dutch Boy Fresh in the house. Dutch Boy Fresh stars on our NBA playoffs Pub Hub, 4 p.m. Eastern every day. Every day, our guy Dutch Boy Fresh with C-Mac, Babano, and Ski Profit. It's a great, great show. Check it out. Thank you, Tim Montana, BX, my guy. Akbar Saloev in the house. And Big Show says, rock your world in Essential Quality, book it. Yeah, my plan is rock your world slid in, but Essential Quality and Hot Rod Charlie are who I want the most. But I've got to figure out what to do with Known Agenda, and I'd like just to let it go. So my plan is just to use those 3, but things can change. We'll have to see. And I'm not using Ron Bauer. That could blow up in my face. There's lots more work to do, and I'm going to do a lot of the work talking with the guys on Wednesday and Thursday nights on Razor Sharp's show. Twins, Orioles. Twins are 22-31, 10-14 on the road at Baltimore. Orioles 17-37, 6-19 at home. We're at Camden Yards in Baltimore, Maryland. 74 Fahrenheit, mostly cloudy, 8 miles per hour, out to left center. David Sharp says, I leaned Twins first 5 miles, half minus 120, but had to stay off because Pineda just faced the Orioles 5 days ago, and that's a no-no for him. Pineda, 3-2, 2.62 ERA, 0.99 whip, 47 Ks and 44 2/3, 12 walks, 9 home runs allowed. In that start, it was a 3-2 win at home versus the Orioles. He went 6 innings, allowed 3 hits, 1 earned run, 1 home run, 2 walks, 8 Ks. He looked good. Dennis Garcia says fading Ron Bauer. Good. That's nice. That's exactly what I wanted to hear. That's exactly what I wanted to hear. Jay Vegas says at least Toronto has one team in action. There's Turnsy 66 says the Leafs are a great hockey club. Viper says Toll's gone over in 6 of Baltimore's last 7 games at home, and it's nice weather at Camden. Nice weather at Camden. Zimmerman on the other side, 2-3, 5.15 ERA, 1.53 WHIP, 43 2/3, 36 Ks, 13 walks, and 10 home runs. He is coming off his best start. Turnsy says is Parkdale riding after that loss last night. Look, this is in Parkdale. They didn't even know there was a hockey game on. There's a couple garbage fires outside the apartment. That was about it. 5 innings for Zimmerman at the White Sox, and they smashed lefties, and he looked very good. 6 hits, 1 earned run. It was a solo shot, 1 walk, 6 Ks. The Twins are hitting lefties hard. 246, 744 OPS. That number's climbing quickly. The Orioles hit lefties hard too, and this is a righty on the bump. They don't hit righties nearly like they hit lefties. Rob Allen says Twins -1.5. They're the road team, so you get all 9 innings of at-bats. I think Twins beat them by more than 2 runs today. Both bullpens are struggling. Twins 4.72 ERA, 1.41 WHIP, 12 of 21 converted save opportunities. Orioles bullpen 4.49 ERA, 1.34 WHIP, converted 9 of 20 save opportunities. Twins continue to deal with mounting injuries. Kepler, Arraez, Byron Buxton, among others, all remain out. Mike Macklem says Twins, Berrios play through 8 innings. Bullpen should be fresher. David Sharp says Baltimore is 30 OPS versus right-handed pitching, Twins 13 OPS versus left-handed pitching. Zimmerman pitching well. And under first 5, over full game. Stay away from those pens. Ooh, I think that's a nice look. That's a very interesting look. Well, let's look at baseball data and then look at the market. Here we go. Against Pineda, they're hitting 241 with a 773 OPS. It's Mancini, who's 1-3 against 1-for-3 with a homer. Michael Franco also has a homer and 3 for 7. And the Twinkies have never seen Zimmerman. I'll need a high first 5 if I want to move on this. The full game total is at 9. It was originally juiced to the under. It's now juiced to the over. So are they giving us a 5 on the first 5? Are they giving us a 5? They are. It opened at 4.5 and went up to 5. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Well, that's going to take a little bit more time. Slatsy says, I'm in a giving mood, just like Leafs defenseman. Thank you, Slatsy. Thank you, Slatsy. Roland said Twin Bats have been a lot better recently. Zimmerman looked really good in that last start. His first good start. We can expect Pineda to slow down that Orioles offense. Do we expect 6 runs? It's nice weather for offense. Okay, I'm just going to leave that as a question mark right now. I would prefer if it opened at 5 and was still there. Seeing at 4.5 being pushed to the 5. I don't know if I'm going to end up pulling the trigger, but I think it's an interesting, very interesting look. All right, let's move on. 7:07 p.m. Eastern. Miami Marlins 24-28, 12-16 on the road at Toronto Blue Jays. 27, 25, 10, 11 at home. We're at Salem Field in Buffalo, New York. They've left Dunedin. They moved up to Buffalo. And I want to move. Well, I moved on the Jays -1, -113. I thought about it last night. I almost pulled the trigger last night. I did not. In the morning when I woke up, there was a slight market move towards the Marlins. It went back about half by the time I bet it. I got a -155 on the money line, the run line +125. Look, Sandy Alcantara is a very good pitcher. And he's coming off a nice start against the Phillies. 8 innings, 2 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 home run, 1 walk, 4 Ks, and 2-0 loss at home to the Phillies. Now, that Phillies lineup is not nearly as dangerous without Bryce Harper in it. And Alcantara, throws heat. 2-4, 3.46 ERA, 1.03 WHIP, 65 innings, 64 Ks, 20 walks, 7 home runs. And the Jays haven't seen him. He's never pitched to Salem Field. Look, there's a lot of question marks. But the Jays now hit righties harder than the Dodgers. The Jays, let me repeat that, now hit righties harder than the LA Dodgers. And Viper says Robbie Ray can't be trusted at all. He's a better pitcher than he's been. CT Bays on Marlins first 5 plus 125. I think that this Jays lineup is just so dangerous. Vladdy Guerrero is he the best hitter in the league right now? Certainly looks like it. Simeon is an absolute monster. You got 6 guys in that lineup that can hit 30-plus homers. There's Guillermo Zertucci, fresh off a big score, 3.3K, our man, Guillermo Zertucci at Santa Anita. And the man's a multi-king. And the guy hits multis in his sleep. Robert Allen says, I can't wait till Alek Manoah pitches again. I'm taking him first 5 every time he pitches till I lose a couple in a row. I get it. David Trump says, no run first inning here. I don't run it a lot, but this is a spot they've not seen. Alcantara Ray's being solid. Luke Murphy's on Jays. Team total overs playing plus money. And Jacksonville So says, is it possible for any team to hit righties harder than the almighty Dodgers? Joey Harb's on the over 8.5. Walla Walla Dose Jays first 5 minus a half. Okay, so the Jays are destroying righties. Now, Marlins hit lefties. But Marlins just added Duvall to their extensive injury list. That includes Miguel Rojas, Chaz Chisholm, Brian Anderson, amongst others. And Robbie Ray, he's coming off a tough start at the Yankees in a 7-inning doubleheader. 4 2/3, 5 hits, 4 runs, 2 runs, 2 walks, 5 Ks. But he's had a good season. And I look at this Marlins lineup. Now they're going to be using a DH. It's battered with injuries. Puzzler says Jays are playing home games in Buffalo from now on. Yeah, and there are going to be fans there, and they're going to be excited to cheer on the Jays. Robert Ray, 2-2, 3.81 ERA, 1.12 whip, 52 innings, 60 Ks, 12 walks, 14 home runs allowed. So let's pop up the baseball data here. They're hitting 146 with a 515 OPS against Ray. 6 for 41. 6 for 41. I just think this team is hitting at such a level. Christian James says, will playing in Buffalo affect the Jays? I don't think it'll affect them negatively. You know, they waited till June before coming up to Buffalo, waited till it was warm. I mean, it's 65 Fahrenheit. It's not that warm, but they're going to have a nice big crowd cheering them on. A lot of these guys are very comfortable with that stadium because they came up, through Buffalo. They're a AAA farm club. So, it turns out they're playing in Dunedin, where they have their spring training. Gregory Simmons on the Rays run line at plus 135. That's ballsy. So I'm on the Jays here. Let's see if I could have got any better than what I got here on Toronto and see what the market is doing here in this spot. First 5's at 4.5. It was originally juiced to the over. It's now juiced to the under. I get that. And Toronto opening up at minus 156. They're now minus 148. So an 8-cent move towards the Marlins and Alcantara. So Jacksonville Zoe has a good point. Says it may affect their home runs because that TD Bark was a bandbox. So is Buffalo a bit. Not quite as much. There's Kevin Riley now. It's great to see you, Kev. Robin Allen says, I actually like the under first 5 in the Toronto-Miami game. Bounce back game for Ray and Alcantara. Solid starter. Seems like a sharp play to go under 5. I agree. The problem is that the Blue Jays bats just scare the shit out of me. They're that good right now. And so I won't bet it. But I agree with you. If I had a free play, I'd be on that first 5 under 4.5. Let's just see what it is right now at my book. That first 5 under 4.5 minus 115. I agree with you. The Jays have never seen Alcantara. Let's say the Marlins score 2 runs. Then I'd be very uncomfortable with the under 4.5. So I'm on the Jays minus 1. I didn't want to double up. I wanted the full 9 innings, or hopefully 8 innings, instead of taking the first 5. just because I think our lineup is so much stronger than the Marlins lineup. So much stronger. Okay, so I'm on the Jays -1. Let's move on to 7:10 p.m. Eastern. Carlos Jedden, thank you for asking about Briggsy. Briggsy's surgery was a success. He's still at the Children's Hospital right now. They're hoping to get out soon, but he's recuperating and feeling better every minute. And Matt Randall, star of the Taint Play of the Day, his son Briggsy is on the mend and will be home soon. So just great news over that. Okay. Turnsey says, do we have a line for the Jets-Habs game yet? I didn't see one. Let's see if they have one now. No, still no. Yeah, Jacksonville. Oh, that is great news. It's wonderful, wonderful news. Briggsy's so tough. Thank you for sending all that positive energy, Carlos. So North Ender, hit me. Give me the bag at hotmail.com. I got to send you $20, man. Richly deserved your $20. Okay. Let's go. We move on to Philadelphia Phillies, Cincinnati Reds, Great America Ballpark in Cincinnati, Ohio. Christian Cassandra says Nola blows on the road. I do think that this Reds team versus righties is not the same team we imagined when they don't have Votto, Moustakas, and Senzel in the lineup. They all remain out of the lineup. Bryce Harper remains out of the lineup with a forearm injury. And I legitimately am interested in the first 5 under. And I watched it go up and up and up. And I thought, do you think it maybe gets to 4? Let's see where it is right now. The 7 has gone to 7.5 full game. And the first 5, I could have got the under 3.5 at plus 105. And I was like, do we get a 4? And the 4s are here. The 4s are coming. Is there a 4 here at my book? Sorry. No. It's still under 3.5 and plus 105. I want the 4. Oh, Nasty Nate. Great to see you. Saying prayers for baby Randall. Yeah, he's Briggsy's such a strong kid. And he has a long, exciting life ahead of him. Okay. So I want the 4. I'm not worried about Nola on the road. He had a fine start on the road last out. I mean, it was at the Marlins, and we know how they're hitting with their injury problems, but I'm fine with it. Here we go. 7:10 p.m. Philadelphia Phillies 25-29, 10-19 on the road. Cincinnati Reds 24-28, 12-13 at home. And this game brings us to my son, the prodigal son, coming back, 3 straight wins. Jose's Say Hey play of the day right now here on Pub Sports Radio. And is Jose rolling after a rough start? He's now 4-4 with an average line of plus 101. He's plus 0.09 units, an ROI plus 1.13%. And he's in the house right now. Jose, how are you?
Well, Jimmy, I'm doing all right. You almost forgot about me there. I thought it was funny, but I appreciate it. And Jimmy, guess what?
What?
Our shared genetics are playing into play here. They're coming together. And it looks like our eyes have matched on something special today, Jimmy.
I'm excited. Jose, because you are white hot. And at the end of this segment, please tell our low baggers where you are off to very, very soon. You will be here tomorrow morning with us, which is wonderful. But take it away here. Great America Ballpark in Cincinnati, Ohio. Nola versus Sonny Gray. And we have the total moving upwards, and we have, let me just go to full game money lines and totals right now. We have Philly opening up as a tiny favorite, but that's moved to Cincinnati. Cincinnati now at minus 111. Jose, take it away.
So I thought this game was interesting as well. You know, I do understand the lines moving up. Both of these pitchers have had success against these lineups, though. And I think the line is concerned about Aaron Nola on the road because Aaron Nola on the road has not been good. It's not been pretty. And against Cincinnati, he hasn't been great either. But the last time he pitched against them was 2019. It's ages ago. I couldn't drink back then. Who would have thought? But I'm right there with you, Jimmy. Honestly, I'll keep it really short here. I'm on the first 5 under as well. I understand that the line keeps going up, but Jimmy, as I say, fuck the markets. I trust Aaron Nola. They got smashed yesterday, 11-1. Joe Girardi, he is what a flaccid penis would look like in a manager, but I mean, get the boys going for once, Joe. Go to the fucking clubhouse, get the boys going a little bit, get Aaron Nola going because he hasn't had a great year. He had a decent start last time. His best I think it was one of the best ones of his season, actually. Better to say decent. But I'm on the first 5 under here. Give me 4, give me 3. I had it at 3.5 at plus 105, and I was fine there. I was ready to plug my nose and go in again. But if we're going 4, I'll take it, I guess. But first 5 under for me, Jimmy. I'll roll against the market again.
I like it. I want the 4 though. I want the 4, and I don't mind paying minus 125 on the 4 to force the 5 runs. But let's see what I can get you right now. I can get you an under 4 at minus 119 available from our friends at Sports Interaction.
I think that would be the highest favorite I've given out so far. So that would hurt my feelings, but I think I'll take the 4. I mean, it is, like I said, it's kind of dicey. It's a tough day. It's an interesting matchup. My other play of the day was going to be Bieber and Cease under first 5, but I kind of like this one better. The numbers support, Sonny Gray. We haven't talked about him. He's pitching. He has not been a fantastic all-star Cy Young pitcher, but he has his moments, and he dominated this Phillies lineup. No one really hits him. None of the big boppers hit him. Matt Joyce, he's a guy, but I'll take the first 5 under here. Shout out to Robert Allen.
I like it. Sonny Gray coming off a great start when he went head-to-head with Strasburg. Now he goes head-to-head with Nola. He seems to relish these opportunities. He went 6 innings, 2 hits, 0 earned runs, 1 walk, 5 Ks, and a 3-0 win, 7-inning doubleheader. The Phillies don't hit righties at all, 228, 67. Then you take Bryce Harper out of that lineup with the forearm injury, and they do nothing. And Jeff Slaughter wants you to comb your damn hair before you get on camera. He's
at least I got a haircut. Yeah, I mean, the haircut was needed. I'll admit it. If I am to get beat up this weekend, at least I am looking decent while getting beat up.
Yeah. And tell us why you are about to get beat up.
So I have a yearly tradition with my girlfriend, Alexis, a.k.a. Helga. We go to Houston, and I travel up to that cesspool of Houston, Minute Maid Park, and I go watch Red Sox Astros. I've gone now 3 years. I did not go last year, obviously, but I went in 2018, and I went in 2017, and I went in 2019, and I'm a lifetime record of 1-2. So I am concerned about my chances. I watched the game last night. I watched every pitch, and I did not look. Here's one of my things, Jimmy. I cleanse myself on the weekends. I don't look at the lines on the weekends. And I was just shocked, utterly gobsmacked, bamboozled even, that the Astros were plus money at home against Eduardo Rodriguez, who are struggling. I feel the same way kind of today, but they're kind of too high of favorites for me to give them out, even though I think they're like the same odds as the over or under we just gave on. But Garrett Richards is going to lose today. They're going to win on Wednesday when I'm there with Nick Pivetta, and then they're going to win on Thursday because I'll be there that day as well, the day game. So there is, in fact, I'm sorry, Joseph. I've provided you with the upset. But yes, I'm going to the Astros-Red Sox game. Long-winded way to say this. And now with all the fights in the stands, especially in Houston, I'm a little concerned because I've told you, Jimmy, I've got a mouth on me. I'm a little bit of a shit talker, and especially when it comes to the Red Sox. Last year, I almost got into an altercation. Shout out to Jeff. That's funny as hell. Last year, I almost got into an altercation with this woman. The Red Sox came back in the ninth inning. They tied the game. Of course, they lose via walk-off. It was very classic. I was distraught. I had my hands like this. I was just sitting there for like 5 minutes because I get very emotionally invested in the Red Sox. And these women tried to flip my hat off while I was sitting there.
Nice.
And I didn't feel it. I did not feel it. My girlfriend saw it. She got up. I didn't feel it. I was fucking in my own world. But if I did feel it, I would have exchanged words. So I don't know. We'll see what happens this weekend. And I guess my question for you, Jimmy, is that how I have very square punches. So can you give me some advice? Where am I going on these fights?
You open hand slap and foot stomp if you want to be a man. If you want to be a man, Jose. And I'm not as proud as I thought I'd be hearing that Jose hopes to physically assault a woman here at this big baseball game that he's going to. I did not expect that from you, Jose. Okay. But Polo that says next. That says cut him off. Okay. Adonis Saint has some really nice words about your baseball team.
Yeah, well, he's probably a Yankees fan, and they were 3-7 the last 10. So hate to see it.
Jose's a monster. We'll leave with that. We'll leave with Jose's a monster. Yes, Popular says not a proud moment at all. We'd prefer if you'd fight men. Or get beat up by men.
Well, men know that they could beat me up because of my milk bag.
So do women.
Okay, you're well.
But we just don't want you to. You're allowed to get beaten up by women, but you can actually fight back against men. That's our rule.
Yeah, you're right. Jimmy, when you're right, you're right. After the show, I'll ask you for punching advice. Because
no, I don't. It's just open hand slap. Open hand slap.
Slap them on the both ears. Just
no. It's just that part of the hand, right there. It's just right there.
Okay. Got it.
You'll learn, Jose. I'll teach you. I'll slap you. It's first time. As soon as I meet you, I'll slap you right in the face just to give you an idea.
Good. Well, you will because the Bruins will beat the Avalanche ass, and then you'll be very mad to see me. It'll bring up all that resentment.
It would be the Stanley Cup final if it happens. There he is, our man, Jose, our producer, star of the Say Hey Play of the Day that's hit 3 straight. He's on the first 5 under 4 at -119 in Phillies, Cincinnati Reds. And I will move on it to if it gets to 4. It's at 3.5 at +105 at my book. So I will wait. And see. Let's move on to a spot I did attack. And let me see. I was wondering, should I wait on this? I moved on the Washington Nationals first 5 at +120. It's still there. Okay. It's still there. At the Braves, Truist Park in Atlanta, Georgia, 79 Fahrenheit, overcast 5 miles per hour in. It's Strasburg versus Max Fried. And look, I know Fried's rolling right now. He's rolling right now. 4 straight real nice starts. In his last one, he went 7 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 0 home runs, 3 walks, 2 Ks, and 7-1 win at home versus the Pirates. But the Nats hit lefties hard, 267, 755 OPS. And the Nats hit him hard. They're hitting, I shouldn't say hard. Should I say hard? I mean, they have 3 home runs in 66 at-bats. So the OPS isn't ridiculous. But they're hitting 348 off Fried. 348 with a 944 OPS. And Strasburg steps up against good pitchers. And I expect them to step up here. They hit him. 266, 793 OPS against Stras. Acuna, 6 for 16 with a double and a homer. Freddie Freeman, 20 for 62 with 4 homers. So 323 with a 1.002 OPS. Albies, 5 for 19, so 263, 860 OPS. But I just think that +120, I'm being given enough. The Batman Boy says Atlanta -135 locked in for me. Braves have had success against Strasburg over the years. They have, but at +120, I'm getting a nice enough risk and reward to back the Nats here. And we're coming off a start that wasn't good. Strasburg got outpitched by Sonny Gray. He's a very emotional guy. He's a very competitive guy. I expect him to be very, very upset. And I like the +120 that I'm being offered. Now, the Braves hit righties, 232, 748 OPS. Nats hit lefties a little harder than the Braves hit righties. The Nats bullpen's also better than the Braves. It might be better to take a full game, but I'd rather just take the plus 120. I'm afraid of the Braves lineup. So I'd rather cut it down to 5 innings, use the ability for the Nationals to hit lefties, and back this plus 120. David Sharp's on the first 5 under 4.5 on this game. Says, I know the stats say over, but I expect these two pitchers to lock it down. Let's see exactly what we're getting here in movement. We have, that's the total. For your total, your first 5 total, Sharpie, we have it opening with minus 117 to the under. It's just minus 114, so a 3-cent move to the over. Nothing much there. The money line on the first 5 here was Nats open up around plus 120, and that's where they've been. That's where they stay. So no move here. Robert Allen says, can't take the under in this game with all the batting studs in this spot. And there we go. Nationals first 5 at plus 120 for me. David Sharp says, Nats bullpen number 13, Braves pen number 23, but advantage Washington full game. I agree. I'm just so scared of this Braves lineup that I would like to cut down the game as short as possible. All right, Nationals first 5 plus 120, my look. We move on to 7:40 p.m. Eastern. Detroit Tigers 22-32, 9-17 on the road at Milwaukee Brewers, 29-25, 13-14 at home. American Family Field in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I expect the roof to be open. I could not get that information. I expect the roof to be open. 71 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 9 miles per hour. And there's Eric Chang in the house. Great to see you, Eric. Matthew Boyd going up against Eric Lauer. I think Eric Lauer is going to get hit at some point and hit hard, but he's pitching for his life, and it's been a good season for him, sort of out of nowhere, and I'm hesitant to fade him. Let's just see what the market move is here right now. We're going to full game, money lines, and totals. Here we go, and Tigers, Brewers. We have Lauer opening up at minus 147. He's now minus 163, so a 16-cent move towards the Brew Crew. This total opened up at 8. It's now down to 7.5. And Big Show picks, throwing out the Pub Sports Radio Discord. And Carlos Jetton says, and you don't like Tampa Bay money line plus 138. You know, I got my money from the Rays, and I'm very thankful for that. I needed it. Picked up about $286 on $250 bets yesterday on the Rays, and I'm just going to leave it at that. But I can understand you guys back in the Rays. It's just not a spot that I'm hammering. Okay, so Tigers Brew Crew. Boyd last out at home versus the Indians. Didn't look good. 5 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs, 1 home run, 2 walks, 5 Ks. Eric Lauer last out looked really good at home versus the Padres. 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 0 home runs, 1 walk, 6 Ks, and a 2-1 extra inning loss at home versus the Padres. I faded him. First 5 in full game. It was Paddock was on the mound for the Padres, and Lauer hit the home run in the 4th inning to lose my first 5 minus a half. So it's 1-1 going to 5th. And then I pushed the full game. Polo this, polo that, since betting has been all bad since the Taint being on ice. Taint will be back. Our man, Matt Randall, will be back. Thank you, Mills, my man. David Sharp says, who had some big balls yesterday? The Tigers first 5 plus a half. Brewers full game, both cash. Reading these lines, how is the team minus 350 favorite, but only a minus 120 score first? Absolutely. Carlos Shedden says, but the Nationals. Yeah, look, the Nationals smash lefties, and I get it, Carlos Shedden. I get it, man. Look, we don't always have to agree on our spots. Chris Smith says Milwaukee and under. I'm waiting for Lauer to get touched. The Tigers hit just 217, 595 OPS versus lefties. That number is going to go up. In the past, they used to rake lefties. And it's gone up. I mean, this was at 470 and 460 at one point this year. Crazy enough, the OPS. Brewers versus lefties, 225, 702 OPS. This Tigers bullpen is not as bad as the numbers indicate. 5.16 ERA, 1.52 up, converted 11 of 19. I like Fulmer as the closer. I mean, he's not always the closer. They put him in the most important situations. But I think the Tigers are going to give us value at some point. And I think they probably do here. I think they probably give us value here. But I can't do it. David Sharp says Tigers 30th OPS versus left-handed batters. Brewers 17th versus righties. Both have bad bullpens to stay off for me, but Tigers play really good baseball of late. Won 3 series in a row. Raymond Reddington on the Tigers at +1. JT liking the under 7.5 full game. And Robert Allen says Tigers aren't as bad as their record indicates either. They're very valuable. I think so. I think we're going to make money off them. I think we're going to be able to make money with them. And I should fade Lowry here, but I just can't. I should, though. Let's just go to batter versus pitcher and see if I can possibly go against this market move. They're hitting 261, 812 OPS versus Boyd, and the Tigers have never seen Lauer. So, okay. I guess I got to stay off. I'd be curious to see where the money is in this game, though. Let's just go to Sports Insights very quickly. We have 78% of the money line tickets and 95% of the cash on Milwaukee. All right, no move there for me. Let's move on to 8:05 p.m. Eastern. San Diego Padres 34-21, 16-11 on the road. At Chicago Cubs 30-23, 19-10 at home. And big show picks, shouting out our Discord. Jump on, join on. We all cap together. Wrigley Field, Chicago, Illinois, 68 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 6 miles per hour, sideways in. Ryan Weathers going up against Kyle Hendricks. The Cubs smash lefties, 252, 773 OPS, but Ryan Weathers has been very good. They haven't started him he hasn't gone for more than 4 innings. 4 innings last start. Again, 1 hit, 0 earned runs, 2 walks, 5 Ks, 6.5 extra inning loss to the Brewers. Hendricks 5-4, 4.63 ERA, 1.42 WHIP, 56 in the third, 47 Ks, 11 walks, 14 home runs allowed. His last start was okay at the Pirates. He allowed 3 solo shots, 7 innings, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 3 home runs, 5 Ks, and 5-3 win at the Pirates. David Sharp says, so 78% of the cash is on the Brewers. No, the line has not stayed the same, Sharpie. There's been a market move towards the Brewers. So here we have, at Sports Insights, they've counted, where are we here? 2,673 tickets are in, and 95% of the money is on the Brewers, and it's moved at least 20 cents, or 16 cents at the lowest at Pinnacle, more than that at other books. David Sharp says, my best bet of the day. Can't believe it opened at 4.5 now at 4. Over 4, first 5, easy money. Interesting. Rizzo remains out of the lineup. Hasn't played since last Tuesday due to a lingering back issue. Both bullpens are very good and pitching very well. Padres bullpen 2.39 ERA, 1.09 WHIP, converted 20 of 30. Cubs bullpen 2.73 ERA, 1.22 WHIP, converted 15 of 21 save opportunities. And against Hendricks, they're hitting 268, 711 OPS. And the Cubbies have never seen Weathers. Wow. Wow. Interesting. This one right here, Raymond, the best bet of the day, Sharpie is on the first 5 over in Padres Cubs. Martial arts fan says Cubs again. Jerry Beatty says Padres all day. Very interesting spot here. I'd love to. Weather's been so good, but the Cubs, you got Brian on a 13-game hitting streak. They can get to him. Cubbies. All right. No move for me. This total at 8. The Padres open up as small favorites. Now the Cubbies are. Actually, that's not true. Excuse me. Sorry. There's been a slight move. It's just still a pick 'em. Slight move to the Cubs. And that first 5 total, very quickly, that Sharpie's talking about is. First 5 total is. Yeah, it has moved to 4 at most books from 4.5. Wow. I hope I'm not missing an opportunity. David Sharp says Padres smash righties. We have a bum righty. Cubs smash lefties, and Weathers is number 5. People think is good. Robert Allen's on the over 8. These bullpens are so good, Robert Allen, right now. Wow. Okay. I'm just going to cheer Sharpie on here. I'm going to stay off this spot. Padres. I'm going to note that Sharpie is on the first 5/4. Okay, let's move on to 8:10 p.m. Eastern. We have Boston Red Sox at Houston Astros. The Astros are dealing with tons of injuries, and it hasn't affected them. They were great against Rodriguez last night. They smashed lefties, even with Alvarez, Brantley, and Gurriel out of the lineup. Red Sox 32-21, 16-8 on the road. Astros 29-24, 18-12 at home. We're at Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas. The roof, I expect, is going to be closed. We have possible rain early. Let's see if we get an update here. I didn't have one as of this morning, but let's see if we can get a quick Astros gate report. And closed. So we have a roof closed. Patrick Peebles says Astros money line all day. Chris Smith says love Houston. Garrett Richards going up against Luis Garcia. Richards 4-3, 3.83 ERA, 1.50 WHIP, 54 innings, 47 Ks, 26 walks, 4 home runs. Last start. 5 2/3, 6 3 runs, 0 home runs, 4 walks, 4 Ks, and 3-1 loss at home versus the Braves. Luis Garcia 3-3, 2.93 ERA, 1.02 WHIP, 46 innings, 54 Ks, 16 walks, 8 home runs. In his last start, he won 6 innings, 2 hits, 0 runs, 1 walk, 7 Ks, and a 5-2 win at home versus the Dodgers. David Tribe said we smashed this line move last night. Astros first 5 -125, now -145. Robert Allen says was on the Astros first 5 yesterday, cashed easy, going back to the Astros first 5 today. Red Sox hit righties harder than the Astros do, and I also think that the Astros versus righties numbers are a little lower without Alvarez, Brantley, and Gurriel. Red Sox bullpen has started pitching better again. It looked like they were slipping. 3.73 ERA, 1.35 WHIP, converted 16 of 23 save opportunities. Astros bullpen 4.55 ERA, 1.37 WHIP, converted 10 of 20 save opportunities. Viper says the total's gone under in 7 of Houston's last 8 games when playing Boston. All right, let's take a look at the batter versus pitcher against Garrett Richards, 290, but just 676 OPS. So 18 for 62, but just 2 of those hits were extra bases, and they were just doubles. And the Red Sox have not seen Garcia. David Tribe says Astros have scored 5 or more in 13 and 14 games. Peanut says sneaky Astros. Great manager. And Mr. Gogster said we're loaded with NHL action in a few. Stay tuned. And Viper says Alvarez and Gurriel expected to be in the lineup. I didn't know that. Thank you, Viper. Okay, wow. So just Brantley then from the main guys that will be out of the lineup. Huh. All right, let's take a look at the market move. Going to money lines and totals here. Full game in this Boston-Houston spot. So this total opened up at 9.5. It's dropped all the way down to 8.5. Wow. Houston and Luis Garcia opened up at -114. They're now at -137. So a 23-cent move towards the Astros. Robert Allen says, I think the injuries are making the Astros batters better. Wow. Okay. That's the spot here. Red Sox, Astros. And no move for me at this point, but I understand the look on the Astros and probably should have got after them early. I did not realize that Gurriel and Alvarez were coming back. Gerald Jones says outscore revenge. Robert Allen says Astros bullpen shaky at times. That's why I take them first 5 usually. Makes sense, Robert. Okay, let's move on to this Pirates-Royals spot. Really interesting game from a gambling perspective, maybe not a viewer's perspective, but I think Will Crowe is a fade, but he's coming off getting destroyed at home versus the Cubs. Only made it through an inning in the third, 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 home run, 2 walks, 1 K, and a 4-1 loss. Brady Singer, 2-4, 4.91 ERA, 1.3 WHIP, 47 2/3, 49 Ks, 19 walks, 4 home runs. Brady Singer got destroyed at Tampa last start, and he's got a really high upside. He was a second-round pick out of high school, then a first-round pick out of university 3 years later. Highly thought-of prospect, 6'5", and he got destroyed at Tampa last out. 2 2/3, 4 hits, 6 earned runs, 1 home run, 2 walks, 3 Ks, 7-2 loss. Neither team hits righties. Pirates 230, 647 OPS. Royals 237, 690 OPS. Both bullpens right around the same numbers. Pirates bullpen 4.04 ERA, 1.26 WHIP, converted just 6 of 8 save opportunities. Royals bullpen 4.02 ERA, 1.40 WHIP, converted 13 of 20 save opportunities. I thought this would open higher. It opened at 8, and then I saw Pinnacle moving it to 8.5. It is now at few books have moved it to 8.5. Singer and the Royals opened up at minus 175. They're now minus 178. And I guess they're just a little bit too big of a fave. Anthony Witherspoon says, back to the whale. Jimmy, Nets game, first half over 116.5, minus 118. Play today. Jokic over 5.5 assists at minus 130. And Anthony says, gift. I like it, Anthony. I'm going to copy and paste it and just pop it up over our breakdown there. Thank you for sharing that with us. We'll be getting over to NBA shortly here. So, back to the spot, I was expecting it open at 8.5. And maybe be bet to 9 with the public just looking at these ERAs, and that it might be a sneaky under. Let's look where the money is in this spot. We have 91% of tickets on the over. Wow. 75% of the money line on the Royals, 77% money line, 75% of the tickets on towards the Royals. Patrick Peebles says Pirates have scored 3+ in 5 straight games. I'm going to end up staying off of this spot. And Patrick Peebles says KC scored 5+ in 4 straight games. Seems like an over, but I'm staying away. The batters haven't seen the pitchers, first off. Second off, they're both coming off terrible starts, so I believe that they can bounce back. Let's see what Robert Allen's doing. He says Pittsburgh, Kansas City under 4.5, first 5. Both these pitchers coming off starts. I love taking pitchers off a bad start, and I'm getting both pitchers off bad start. I think first 5 under will catch here. That was what I initially thought, and with the weak hitting for the Pirates and the Royals against righties. But I can't trust it enough to put my money on it. Let's just see what that first 5 is. It's sitting at first 5. 4.5. Yeah, kind of like it. David Tribe says this is an under spot. They put an 8 out there for a reason. All that money on the over, and we both had a line at 8.5 or 9. They opened at 8. It's a trap under game. The problem is that Pinnacle moved it to 8.5. If it was the other books, I would have already bet it. Let's just look at when Pinnacle moved it to 8.5 here quickly, and then we will move on. Certainly, if I had a free play, I'd be on the under 8.5. Or excuse me, I'd be under the under 4.5. But Pinnacle, so it was at 8 yesterday at 4:00 p.m. At 8:12 a.m., it moves to 8.5, and it's there for just 45 minutes before it goes back to 8. So people obviously pounced. But then it went to 8.5 at 9:24 a.m. and it stayed there. With the undertaking money, let's look at what the first 5 has done, and then we will decide what moves to make here. Let's go to Bookmaker and see what we're dealing with. Here we go. The first 5 opened at 4.5, and the under is taking some money at Bookmaker. David Tribe says, I'm saying they put 8 out there to have people bet the over. Yeah, I agree with that. Mills MMA locker rooms on Bieber over 8.5 Ks. And can we really trust Will Crow? How fast do they give him the hook? Because their bullpen's been good. And let's just look at this total here in this game. We have 91. Oh, yeah, I said 91% of the tickets on the over. They're not giving us the money line on the under right now. Yeah. Okay, I like it. What if the Royals jump all over Will Crow? Eric Jones says, I see 80% on the under. Eric Jones, what site are you using? Let's refresh this here. Over to MLB. Yeah, I have 91% of the tickets on the over. I'd be interested to see what site you're using, Eric. All right, I'm interested in the first 5 under, but I don't know if I can pull the trigger. Let's move on to 8:40 p.m. Eastern. Next up, Texas Rangers 22-33, 9-20 on the road at Colorado Rockies 20-34, 16-12 at home. This already weak Colorado Rocky lineup now has Trevor Story out for an extended period. They're hitting 221, 651 OPS against righties, and that's in the thin air in Colorado. That's unbelievably bad. Robert Allen says Crow went 6 innings versus Cubs, only gave up 2 runs. 5 innings versus Giants, only gave up 3. I'm interested. I don't get me wrong. I'm interested. Okay. Back to Coors Field. 66 Fahrenheit, mostly cloudy, 7 miles per hour, sideways in. Dane Dunning, 2-4, 4.75 ERA, 1.44 whip, 47 1/3, 52 Ks, 17 walks, 4 home runs. He got torched in his last start at the Angels. 4 innings, 7 hits, 7 earned runs, 2 home runs, 3 walks, 4 Ks. Did not look good. Herman Marquez on the bump for the Rockies, 3-5, 4.47 ERA, 1.49 whip, 62 Ks, 31 walks, 6 home runs. In his last start, he went 6 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 1 home run, 1 walk, 6 Ks, and a 1-0 loss at the Mets in a 7-inning doubleheader. Wow, the Eskimos just changed their name to the Elks. I don't mind that, actually. I don't mind that. I'm surprised. I don't mind that. I like the way they kept with the E, and I don't mind that. Jacksonville Zoe says I show 86% of money on the over. Wow. I thought that Sports Insights was the gold standard for this stuff, but they don't have any money line information here. It's the lone box that's not filled. Patrick People says Rangers have lost 12 in a row on the road. Neither team hits righties. Rangers a little better than the Rockies, 228, 683 OPS, but in a much tougher ballpark to get hits than the Rockies. Rangers bullpen 4.14 ERA, 1.34 whip, converted 12 of 18. Rockies bullpen just abysmal, 5.44 ERA, 1.56 whip, converted 7 of 15 save opportunities. CT Bay says love the Rockies here. Rangers 2-8 in Dunning starts. Rockies 15-11 at home. Yeah, I have 16-12 at home. All right, let's pull up this spot here and see what we are dealing with. Texas, Colorado. Colorado opening up as a favorite, and that's the market's moved over to Texas. Market's moved over to Texas. At Sports Insights right now, we have 45% of the money and 41% of the tickets on Texas. So most money coming in on Colorado. I like to back Marquez at home, but it's hard to trust. David Sharp says, why not full game under in the Pirates? Both have good bullpens just in case Crow implodes. I still don't know if I fully trust that Royals bullpen, but that might just be a vividness issue. But I get it. If Crow gets hit, why not? I get it. I get it. I'm going to have to make a decision around that. Okay, so I'm concerned about this market move, but I don't get the market move. How could the move over to the Rangers? It makes no sense. Why would Pinnacle do this? Pinnacle opened up the Rangers at plus 115, and now the Rangers are minus 108. That's a big market move for a really sharp book. Joe Yurkovich says, remember the Coors underdog on the minus 1.5 run line thing? Yeah, of course, Joey. Of course, man. The Coors Field fade. Carlos Jedden on the Rockies. Kevin Riley on Colorado. Yeah, I'm gonna stay off. But CT Bay says Rangers scored 6 total runs in 4 games at Seattle. I mean, if the market thinks that there's going to be a nice start from Dunning, and we believe in Marquez against this Rangers lineup, you would expect this total to have gone down. It opened up at 9.5 juice to the over. It's now 9.5 juice to the under. But I can't trust these bullpens at all. So then we go to first five. But you want a first five under? Actually, a bunch of first fives unders have been hitting in Coors Field. But it opened up at 5.5. It's now at 5. So that would have been a move that should have already been made. David Trapp says, this bum fight don't get none of my money. Let's move on to 9:40 p.m. Eastern. New York Mets at Arizona Diamondbacks. Mets 26-20, 11-15 on the road. Arizona Diamondbacks 19-36, 10-15 at home. Joe Yurkovich says, I stay away from all Coors games and all doubleheaders. I get it, Joe. I get it. Jerry Beatty says, young pitcher coming to altitude at Coors. Have to fade Dunning here. Jerry, just Pinnacle is the sharpest book, right? And they've made a huge move towards the Rangers. And I mean, 23 cents. That's a big move for Penny. It's enough to keep me off. All right, let's go. Mets, Diamondbacks, Chase Field, Phoenix, Arizona. Roof open. Confirmed roof open. 102 Fahrenheit clear. 7 miles per hour sideways across the diamond. We have Show Marcus Stroman, 4-4. 2.47 ERA, 1.05 whip, 58 in the third, 46 Ks, 13 walks, 6 home runs. In his last start, he went 6 innings, allowed 3 hits, 0 earned runs, 2 walks, 3 Ks, and a 1-0 win at home over the Rockies in a 7-inning doubleheader. That was up against Herman Marquez. Viper says total's gone over in 4 of Arizona's last 5 games at home. And Ternsey says, look at Edmonton's Twitter when you're done the show. The new logo is awful. I look forward to I just want CFL back. I just want a CFL season. I want to head over to I live so close to BMO. I want to go watch the Argos play the Lions, and I miss it. All right. Caleb Smith has not started this year. Only been coming out of the bullpen. In his last appearance, he went 2 1/3, 1 hit, 0 earned run, 0 walks, 5 Ks, and 5-4 loss at home to the Cardinals in extra innings. Not easy to shut down the Cardinals. Now I know he came in at the right time, but it's not easy to shut down the Cardinals against lefties, and he did it for 2 1/3. David Trapp says, I lean Arizona first 5. I just need 4 innings from Smith. They're opening him up, so he should get to 4 or 5 today. Mets are 25th in the league. OPS first left-hand pitching, leaning first 5 under also. The Nets continue to deal with a lot of injuries. J.D. Davis is close to returning, but Conforto, McNeil, and Nemo all out. Talk Sports with JT says, I like the under 4.5 in this game. A lot of this makes sense to me, except the weather scares me. Mets just 222, 668 OPS versus lefties. Diamondbacks 232, 682 OPS versus righties. Mets bullpen is rolling right now. 3.56 ERA, 1.31 whip, converted 13 of 19 save opportunities. The Diamondbacks bullpen's bad. 4.90 ERA, 1.50 whip, converted 6 of 17 save opportunities. Let's take a look at the baseball data and then decide if we do want to join you guys here. We have against Stroman, the Diamondbacks are hitting 298 with an 881 OPS. With Caleb Smith, they're hitting 261, 1.009 OPS. That's 6 for 23 with 3 home runs. And the roof open. Sterling Gentry says, I think someone on the Mets could get 2 hits. CD Bay says, once that Diamondback pen gets involved, Mets win full game. Patrick People says, Diamondbacks are unbackable. CT Bay says, Mets a little value for a few more days, been winning. And Alonso and Pilar help a lot. Alonso 4 RBIs last night. Yeah, Pete Alonso back in business. And Pilar coming back after getting hit in the face. This Mets Diamondbacks is a no move for me. It's just a no move. I would like to back Caleb Smith. But Strosho, he can get hot. He's pitching well. These guys hit him. I think that the Mets numbers against lefties, 222, 668 OPS, aren't a real. They hit lefties better than that, or they will be hitting lefties better than that when they get healthy. And now it was a great point by CT Bays about Alonso being back in the lineup. All right, no move for me. The Elks. I like, Edmonton Elks. I don't know. I like it. All right, we move on to Angels, San Francisco Giants, 9:45 p.m. Eastern, and we come to the Dirty K prop here. Puzzler saying Pilar might be a psychological boost. I agree. And CT Bay says Smith better go 7 innings or D-backs in trouble. And we know he's not going to go 7 innings, so that means the D-backs are in trouble. The Dirty K prop, he's now 37-20 on all K props, and he's getting dirty today. Wood over 5.5. Ks at minus 125. Wood has 7+ and 4 straight in San Francisco. So Heaney is batting at least 2 times. All right, let's break this game down. We're at Oracle Park in San Francisco, California. 55 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 12 miles per hour out to left center. Andrew Heaney, 2-3, 5.24 ERA, 1.28 WHIP, 44 2/3, 55 Ks, 16 walks, 9 home runs. He just can't be trusted. 5 2/3 in his last start. He went 4 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 home run, 4 walks, 5 Ks, and 11-5 win at home versus the Rangers. Sterling Gentry says Giants could win this. And Eric Rosas, I got to check it out. I haven't seen it. Viper MB says total's gone under in 5 of the Angels' last 5 games, and no Trout in the lineup. Alex Wood, 5-2, 2.44 ERA, 1.04 WHIP, 48 innings, 50 Ks, 11 walks, 6 home runs. In his last start was at the Dodgers. He went 6 innings, 6 hits, 4 earned runs, 3 home runs, 0 walks, 8 Ks. Angels, 238, 706 OPS versus lefties, and that number is dropping. Giants versus lefties, 247, 778 OPS. That number is climbing. Angels bullpen 4.96 ERA, 1.46 WHIP, converted 12 of 21. They can't be trusted. The Giants bullpen being average this year, maybe a little better than average, 4.01 ERA, 1.25 WHIP, converted 21 of 34 save opportunities. Trout could be out until July. Evan Longoria was lifted from Monday's game with right side soreness, and he's being hot. He's resurrecting his career all of a sudden when people have given up on him. And Brandon Belt remains out. So those are 2 important bats. Let's go to baseball data, and then we'll move over. Against Heaney, only 3 Giants have seen Heaney. 5 at bats, so tiny sample size. But we know they hit lefties hard. Alex Wood, they're hitting 387 with a 943 OPS against Wood. They get to him. Rendon, 13 for 23. 13 for 23 against Wood. Wow. Let's go over to the market. We have the first 5 has gone from 4 to 3.5. So obviously they're expecting a nice performance from these pitchers, which is a bit surprising. The full game total's gone from 7.5 to 7, and Wood and the Giants have taken money. Open up at minus 146. They're now minus 153. CT Bay says Giants bench always seems to hit, still underrated. Jesus Ortiz says, what's your best MLB look today? We're almost done the entire card. So give me a second. I guess I would lean towards St. Louis Cardinals score first at minus 110, but we're not even at that game yet. Okay, so I think that the Giants don't have to be the play. And you know what? I should take that back. If they're really hitting that hard against Alex Wood from his days, 24 for 62. I can't do it. I can't back the Giants, even though I think they're a better team. Longoria probably out. I feel you. Jesus Ortiz says Giants probably have to drop one. And Puzzler says Ohtani not expected to play today. And David Sharp says, read my last comment. Sorry, Sharpie. He says, I'm on the Giants team total over 3.5, minus 120. Top 5 OPS for left-handed pitching and LA bullpen. Also on the over 3.5 first 5. I see both getting hit. Yeah. But then the market taking it to the under. And I guess Ohtani not expected to be in. So now you have Ohtani and Trout both out of the lineup. You have Longoria and Belt both out of the Giants lineup. This is a no move for me. I can completely understand David Sharp's look and David Sharp's plan on this, but I'm not moving on it. Let's move on to 10:10 p.m. Eastern. Oakland Athletics at Seattle Mariners. I think the biggest thing in this Oakland Athletics Seattle Mariners spot, and will be something for us to keep an eye on as these two teams move forward, is Gold Glove center fielders are out. And if you've been betting against the Mariners, you've seen Kyle Lewis completely rob you in center field. Now, I don't know how long he's going to be out for. He could be back soon. It's just knee soreness that he's dealing with. Ramon Laureano is expected to be placed on the DL today with a groin injury. You take these Gold Glove center fielders out, they're going to be triples when there weren't going to be triples a week ago. Robert Allen says Oakland A's have been killing me lately. A's 31-25, 14-8 on the road. Mariners 28-27, 17-12 at home. We're at T-Mobile Park in Seattle, Washington. 78 Fahrenheit clear, 7 miles per hour in. Chris Bassett 5-2, 3.21 ERA, 1.00 WHIP, 70 innings, 74 K, 16 walks, and 5 home runs. In his last start, he went complete. 9 innings, 2 hits, shutout, 1 walk, 9 Ks, and a 5-0 win at home versus the Angels. Marco Gonzalez has not looked good, but that performance at Houston last week is very good when we know what they're doing, the lefties. He went 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, 0 home runs, 3 walks, 4 Ks. A's versus lefties, they hit them hard too, 237, 743 OPS, and the Mariners don't hit righties, 205, 643 OPS. Both bullpens are pitching well, especially the A's, now at 3.86 ERA, 1.27 whip. Converted 14 and 20 save opportunities. The Mariners bullpen, 3.79 ERA, 1.21 whip, converted 17 and 26 save opportunities. Let's go to baseball data here quickly. And against Bassett, 182, 518 OPS. Wow. Do you want to back him after a complete game? That doesn't scare me that much. But Marco Gonzalez, 261, 756 OPS against them in a huge sample size, 48 for 184. And now you don't have, Dave Sharp says, Jimmy back on Gonzalez again. Now you don't have these star center fielders. And it's going to bite them. But will it bite them here? This total opened up at 8. It's now at 7.5. Bassett opening up at minus 136. He's now minus 150. A 14-cent move towards him. Patrick People says Bassett just pitched a shutout. I don't see him coming out clean, but he's going to go deep and keep damage minimal. Ace 4 of 5 in his past 5 starts. 4 straight. Robert Allen says, yeah, Oakland keeps losing games. They should have no business losing. It's breaking me. I'm done with Oakland right now. And do I have a jack of the day? Oh, that's a good look. I like your jack of the day. Interesting, Big Show. I've not thought about it yet, but I will. Viper says Marco is a bum. You know that hurts me. Gonzaga, kid. Okay, so I'm going to make no move, but I'm going to look closely at what's going on in center field for both these clubs. And then we get to a very exciting spot, Cardinals at Dodgers. John Gant up against David Price. David Price only is just an opener. Last start, he went just 2 2/3. Didn't allow a hit, didn't allow a run at the Giants, and the Giants hit lefties. But so do the Cardinals. And I got plus 170 on the first 5 with Gant pitching well right now. And I know that some of his peripheral numbers show that he won't continue to pitch well. And I thought this one was maybe a spot I should wait. But it's still plus 170, so no change there. And I got the Cardinals to score first. I think they can get the price. They're just smashing lefties right now. 248, 784 OPS. And I trust them. And Gant, 5 innings, 5 hits, 0 runs, 3 walks, 3 Ks, and a 4-0 win at the White Sox last out. He's got a 1.81 ERA and a 1.57 whip because he has 31 walks in 44 and 2/3. So I took the Cardinals to score first at minus 110. I took the Cardinals first 5 at plus 170. I could have got them plus a half at plus 100. I didn't want that. Robin Allen's doubled up on the Cardinals first 5 in full game. I think they can get after this squad right now. Let's just go to baseball data here quickly. Against Gant, we have let me refresh this, see if I can get some price information here. Against Gant, they're hitting 182 to 682 OPS. No, very small sample size, but they're 2 for 11, and Gant's going to be up for this opportunity. And against Price, 6 for 26, 231, 721 OPS. Home runs from Carpenter and Arenado. He's going to have to face them early. There's Osby in the house. CT Bay says Cards first 5 is a nice dog. I have no idea how Gant does it with all the walks, but I need to cash in. So there's my double up in the Cards game. Cards score first at minus 110. And the first 5 at plus 170. All right, let's review our action, talk NBA, and then get Mr. Gogster out here for the big Lightning Hurricanes game. Chris Smith says St. Louis can't keep up with the Dodgers. You saw it yesterday. Look, this Dodgers bullpen is being used, and now they're going up in an opener spot, and we get the lefty up first, and the Cardinals are raking lefties. And CT bases, Cards righties. Brady bats are going to hit a bomb early, gets that first 5 plus money. So I like it. So let's go over my action here quickly. I have some interest in the first 5 under 5 in Twins Baltimore Orioles. I need to study that a little more. I'm on the Jays -1, -113. Jose, star of the Say Hey play of the day, who's hit 3 straight, is on the first 5 under 4, -119 in Phillies Reds. If I can get the 4, I'm going to move on it. If I can get it. It's at 3.5 right now. I'm on the Nationals first 5 plus 120. I like the risk and the reward here for Strasburg. And I know that the Nats can hit lefties. Fried's pitching very well right now. I just like the risk reward. I think it's worth it. I'm off Tigers, Brewers. Sharpie is on the first 5 over 4 in Padres Cubs, and I get it, and I might move on it, but I need a little more time to study it because it wasn't part of my plan. Red Sox Astros, I'm off, although I can understand backing the Astros. I just missed the market move. I'm going to move on either the first 5 under or the full game under in Pirates Royals. I just don't know at this point if it's going to be the first 5 or the full game. And I think I would prefer the first 5 under slightly, but I'm going to need to look at it a little more. I'm off Rangers Rockies. I'm off Mets Diamondbacks. And then with the dirty K prop is Wood over 5.5 strikeouts at minus 125 and Angels Giants. And he's 37-20 on his K props. Off A's Mariners, but let's keep an eye out for these Gold Glove center fielders out of the lineup. And then I doubled up on the Cardinals game first. Cardinals score first at minus 110, the first 5 plus 170. And Jimmy Gomez says Twins money line is my MLB play of the day. All right, let's move on to NBA right now. I've made one bet, and we got to be kind of brisk because I want at least 15 minutes for Gogster to break down the Lightning Hurricanes game. So we are going to start in the East, first round, game 5. Celtics, Brooklyn Nets. Brooklyn leads the series 3-1. Let's move over and see. And I have made one bet. That's just on the Suns minus 5. We'll get to that here soon. And let's look at spreads and totals. Here we go. Brooklyn opening up as 12-point favorites. They're now 12.5-point favorites. This total is climbing quickly, and why wouldn't it? That first game was extremely low scoring, 103-94. The last 3 games have sailed over, and last out, the Nets scored their franchise record with 141 points, playoff franchise record, 141 points. So this is all the way up to 234 at some books. Pinnacle still hanging into 233. Cap a lot pop says Brooklyn game and over. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. North Ender says first half over. And here we go. We have the look from our Anthony Witherspoon. He said first half over 116.5, and Jokic is his favorite prop at over 5.5 assists, but we'll get to that soon. Viper says Brooklyn 5-0 against spread in the last 5 games when playing at home against Boston. North Ender says I prefer the first half over in case of a blowout. Let's see where the money is here. Move over to NBA. See where the money is. In this spot, we have on the spread 93% of cash on the Nets with 71% of the tickets. On the total, we have wow. Is this to be believed? With 12,672 tickets, we have 95% of the money on the under and just 26% of the tickets on the under. So what are you telling me? Someone put $1 million on the under? Ooh-wee. That's strange. That's from Sports Insights right now. 95% of the cash they have on the under out of just under 13,000 tickets, which could only tell me that if that is real, which there's no reason why not, we should not believe that. That means that somebody placed, $1 million bet on the under. Wow. Wow. Mills also says his Yankees suck today. They're on the under 7.5 is the look. So let's talk about this a little more. Celtics regular season pace was 20th at 98.94 possessions a game. It's slightly slower here in the series. The teams are playing at 96.88 possessions a game. That's NBA regular season pace, 11th at 100.27 possessions a game. Even when I was writing that down, I was like, do I need to write it down? Because the roster is so different for both these teams than they had during the regular season. Durant goes for 42 on 14 of 20 shooting. Very impressive. The 42 points was one off the Nets playoff franchise record. Irving goes for 39. Harden 23 and 18 assists. It was extremely efficient. They shot 57.8% from the field, 59.3% from 3, 16 and 27, 96.7% from the foul line, 29 and 30, and they got 29 assists. Big show. I get it. And look at Robert Allen. Says, I'm already on Nets first half, full game, and the full game under. Sterling Gentry liking Harris and Blake to go for 15 plus. The Nets are just rolling. They're averaging 123.5 points per game in the series. They're shooting 49.3% from the field, 41.6% from 3, and 92% from the foul line. Tatum is the only answer for the Celtics. He scored 90 points in the past 2 games. Just rolling. But the Celtics shot 43.5% from the field, 34.1% from 3. I mean, Smart and Evan Fournier On Sunday, they went 9 of 27 from the floor combined and 4 of 18 from 3. And I thought Kemba Walker would be back in after the day off, and it looks like he's not going to be back in. And if Kemba Walker and Robert Williams aren't back in, well, they're going to get crushed. Kevin Riley says over 60% says Nets cover, strong value with them in a lopsided win. North Ender says Nets and under full game might be the best bet. Puzzler says, I think Nash won't be careless. He's too smart to let Boston back in this. I don't know if they can. I don't know if they're capable. Polo this, polo that. Nets win between 11 and 20 at plus 200. Polo this, polo that. That might be just a great, great look. Wow. Chris Smith says over is still going to hit here. And between 20 and 30 at plus 500. Well, the key here is Kemba. Is Kemba going to come in and give it a shot? Because if he's not, then they're just letting go. Can we get any quick injury update on Kemba? Doubtful to play in Game 5. So nothing here. David Sharp says easiest bet, same as the last game, Nets team total over. I mean, if you wanted to do that, I would say it's probably best to focus on the first half team total. But then the only concern is, and we've already seen this, what if the Nets don't come out all fired up? The first half team total, here we go. The first half team total is 61.5 for the Nets. You have to think they get there. Focus on the first half team total, and then in case the blowout isn't play, then just let it go. First half team total at 61.5. Why not? But do they come out lazy? I'm a little surprised it's so low, to be honest with you. Polo, this says Tatum to score 40 plus at plus 300 seems logical. It seems logical until, the Nets are up 25 going into the fourth, and, the decision is just not to play him. And Dennis says Brooklyn at minus 19.5 or whatever it is. Wow. Are you surprised that first half team total is so low? Is it fishy that it's so low? 61.5 at minus 125. It's slightly juiced to the over there. I think that might be the move. All right, let's move on to the next spot. Portland Trail Blazers at Denver Nuggets. I came so close 2 days ago to betting the Nuggets at minus 1.5, and I just couldn't pull the trigger. I just can't do it. When I look at this lineup from head to toe, I'm like, I don't know. Something's holding me back from putting my money. Oh, Dennis Garcia going to sell up? Oh, at whatever it is. Okay, I see what it does. Says Brooklyn minus 19.5 at whatever it is for a big score. I get it. Kevin Riley says no Kemba as of today. System leaning under. Ooh-wee. It'll be sharps against public on that total. And then maybe it'd be the Celtics team total under. That should be the full game. Let's just look at that very quickly. The Celtics full game team total under is 110.5. Do they get to 110.5? I don't know if they do. Do they? Celtics team total under 110.5. I don't know if they do, man. D Nice says, what's the top pick of the day? My favorite pick so far. The best pick of the day for me is Phoenix Suns minus 5. But that first half team total over for the Nets at 61.5 and the Celtics team total under 110.5 for full game is appealing. Capelot Pop says Brooklyn doesn't play defense. Okay, let's move on to the Trailblazers Denver spot. Ball Arena, Denver, Colorado. Nuggets are 25-11 at home during the regular season. Trailblazers 22-14 on the road. They were good. The pace the Blazers played in the regular season was 19th in the league at 98.97 possessions a game. The pace for the Nuggets 27th at 97.74 possessions a game. This series, it's slowed down like all series have, 94.88 possessions a game. We have Nuggets opening up at minus 1.5. They're now minus 2. This total opened up at 226, and it hasn't really moved. I take that back. A couple books have cut it a half point to 225.5. Robin Allen says, everyone's going to overreact to the Blazers last game and take them today, but I'm on the Nuggets -1.5. I came so close, man. The Czar is on the Nets, Blazers, and Suns. D-Night says, I think Braun might want this game bad tonight. Yeah, no, it's clear he does, and I can't wait to talk about it. So let's just get through this one here. The Blazers were in complete control in Game 4, 115-95 win. Storm and Norman Powell goes for 29. Michael Porter Jr. did not look good. 3 points, 3 shot attempts. Wild. Jokic, 16 points after dominating the first 3 games. No Will Barton tonight. Malone says there's a chance he'll be back for Game 6 or Game 7. So this is very similar to that series 2 years ago, and it was a magical series. And the Blazers won Game 7 on the road to advance. It was incredible. This is the 3rd straight year the Nuggets have reached the playoffs, and this will be their 5th Game 7 in their past 6 series. The key, obviously, for the Trailblazers is to keep Nurkic out of foul trouble. If he can keep Nurkic out of foul trouble, he can slow down Jokic. When he gets into foul trouble, I mean, we know what happens when he has cancers out there. I mean, there's just no defense. Viper says, I'm on Dame points over. He will bounce back. And Polo this saying, betting against the King in a must win. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. Betting against. This is not a must win for the Lakers at all. See, I see it totally differently. They shouldn't push LeBron. They should take it home and win Game 6. Maybe have AD for Game 6, but make sure they have AD for Game 7. That's the way I see it. Polo this, Polo that says, line says Portland wins. I couldn't bet the Nuggets at -1.5. I came so close, and I couldn't do it. I'm not going to do it here. Let's just take a quick look at where the money is here. We have 71% of spread money line. Sorry, 67% of tickets on the spread on the Nuggets, 71% of money, and similar numbers on the money line. And then we have another situation where 74% of the tickets are on the over and 86% of the money's on the under. So huge bets being made on the under. Wow. Very, very, very interesting. Huge bets being placed on the under in the first 2 games. How many tickets is that being used? That's in 11,512 tickets have been broken down. Dennis Garcia says, took Portland to win the series prior to Game 4, +165, taking Denver to win the series at +110. Yeah, that's a great way of doing it, man. It's a great way of doing it. Okay, and then we go to the big game on the card for me. West first round, Game 5, series tied 2-2, Lakers, Suns. Jose, could you send Mr. Gogster a link for our show? He's going to be coming on talking NHL, and he's been incredibly hot on this show. We're at Phoenix Suns Arena in Phoenix, Arizona. We have the Suns opening up at -4. They're now -5. That 5 is juiced at some books now. This total opened up at 209 and is now at 207.5. I thought you guys would find it interesting with this total that when it came out. Oh, no, it didn't at Pinnacle. Why did I think? Why did I think there was one book? Maybe it's a bookmaker? Let me go over the bookmaker. No, man, I'm tripping out. So my first thought when I saw this total was that I knew it would get bet down. If any of you guys think the Lakers have a chance in this game, you have to hope that they start shooting better from the outside. They're hitting 29.1% of their threes in the series, 37 to 127. And they're shooting 32.5% from 3 on Sunday. So injuries clearly playing a major role in this series. You got AD, had a knee injury that put his status in Game 4 in doubt. Now his strained groin that's put his involvement in the rest of the series in doubt. LeBron goes for 25, 12, and 6 and 192 loss in Game 4. And my first image of what's going to happen in this game, when I close my eyes, think about it, I just feel like I see the Suns up big in the 4th and LeBron letting go with 6 minutes left or 5 minutes left. I don't see. LeBron says, for me, it's putting our team in position to be successful. Listen to the way LeBron sounds now. And look, I'm a LeBron fan. Everyone knows that. He says it starts with my approach, my accountability, trickles down to everybody else. And what, did you also die for their sins? I mean, come on. I'm talking about this is why I made these big shoulders. What happened to the cliches that leaders use? It's not all about you, LeBron. You got to talk about your teammates, how you believe in them, how they're going to have to hit some big shots and you believe in them. Not it starts with my accountability and trickles down my leg. Come on. So Kuzma's going to have to step up. Do you trust Kuzma? Do you trust a guy who bleaches his hair blonde? I don't. You know, one of the crazy stat. Marcus Sol stepped up, which I like, but Dennis Garcia says, is KCP playing? Our update on KCP is that that I thought he was going to be in the lineup. I expected him to be in the lineup because Wesley Matthews is atrocious. He was a game worst, minus 15. So I don't have it in front of me, but I believe he played like 30 or 35 minutes, and he 2 rebounds and 1 assist. So all he does is sit in the perimeter and hope he gets a chance to shoot. He went 2 for 5 from 3. Those were his only shots. Polo, this says Braun triple-double. Oh, Braun's going to be in tonight, Sterling. Braun triple-double. Now, the last time I bet on LeBron in a situation like this when AD went out, it was a big marquee game, and I can't remember. It was a couple months ago or whatever. But Braun didn't come close to hitting his prop. It opened at 43.5. Everything's juiced to the over. His points were at 26.5, juiced to the over. And his props were at 43.5 for points, rebounds, and assists. And if it gets up to 45.5 or something like that, I'll take the under. But I think the best bet on the board is the Suns. Chris Paul played his best game since hurting his shoulder. Obviously, it feels a little better. 18 points, 9 assists, 0 turnovers. Jake Crowder scores 17 points, and he's completely locked in because he has to defend LeBron. And he's doing a pretty nice job at it. He can handle it. He doesn't back down. Ayton, 4 straight double-double, 14 points, 17 boards. So I think the Suns at minus 5 is the best bet on the board. Now, I'm having a bad NBA year. I had 3 plus double-digit units, low double-digit units, but plus double-digit units in front of you. But I'm getting beaten badly this year, so I probably shouldn't be trusted. But I think it's the best bet on the board that the Suns are going to take care of business here. Dennis Garcia says, I trust the Lakers without star player to rally. I don't trust the young Phoenix team to step on the Lakers' throat. Already took LA Lakers first quarter. Expect them to be sharp early. I like the look early. I like the Lakers look early. But I like the Suns, and I'm going to keep an eye on these props. We want to get over to NHL and bring the man, the legend, the myth, Mr. Gogster out here, but let's just look and see if anything's changed on the prop market right now. LeBron at 26.5. It's now just to minus 140. But I want to go on the under player points, assists, rebounds because if you expect the Lakers to hit outside shots, he's clearly going to hit this over assist. Oh, it's on the 44.5. So it opened at 43.5. Now it's at 44.5. Let's get that to 45.5 or 46.5, and I'll take the under. All right. There we go. So I think I'm going to move on the Nets first half team total over 61.5, and then the Celtics full game team total under 110.5. I think I'm going to move on those. And then if I like that, then I probably like Nets minus 12.5, but I don't want to triple up on the game. And I think the best bet on the board is the Suns minus 5, and I still don't know what to do with the Blazers Nuggets. All right, let's move on to NHL. One game to talk about, and the white-hot Mr. Gogster coming to us live from Belleville, Ontario. Belleville, Ontario's finest. Mr. Gogster, what's happening, my man? You're running hot.
Hey, what's going on, fellas? How we doing today? What's up, Jim?
All is well, man. Running hot. You swept the board. You had a 5-0 day. You followed that up with more cashers on Friday. You're just rolling right now. We have a huge game between the Lightning and the Hurricanes coming up. Have you stayed hot through the weekend?
Well, I'm just a homer, Jim. I wanted to go down on the Leafs, even though I knew they were going to lose. So I lost on the first period and the full game on the Leafs, unfortunately. But I told all my friends Montreal would win, so I think they made money. So that's good. It was tough. Also, the Islanders there, I thought that'd be more of an under series. It's been quite the goal fest in the Islander-Boston series, so a little bit slow there. But overall, Jim, it was a great week we had last week, so I'm looking to hopefully continue that going here. We got one game. Dove pretty deep into this one. I got a bunch of plays, some props too for the guys, so let's get after it. We have Carolina opening up at minus 106. They've taken 5 cents at Pinnacle. Bet365's had it at minus 120 for a long time, and I get it. I get it, and I was close to moving on them, but I wanted to hear your breakdown. This total opened up at 5.5 at a pick'em. There's been a huge move towards the under, a 15-cent move at Pinnacle, and that's a big move for Pinnacle. Now minus 122, minus 125 at other books.
We have the Lightning 15-10-3 on the road. They weren't that good, but I think we got to put a line through all of the Lightning's records. They played so much of it without Kucherov and unfortunate. Hurricanes 23-5 at home. Vasilevsky, you made this incredible point earlier in the playoffs, how good Vasilevsky is on the road and how he can get touched at home. God, he looked good on the road Sunday night in Carolina. 15 saves in the first period. And there were 16,000 fans in Carolina. They were going nuts.
Oh, it was rocking, yeah.
And he looked very good. Carolina has had a lot of gusto in the first period, but they've got nothing to show for it. 6 time in 7 playoff games that Carolina's allowed the first goal. Now they have no Nino Niederreiter. It looked like it was just an upper body injury day-to-day thing. Brind'Amour says he's very, very doubtful to return this series, so that sounds like he might be done for the playoffs. But the big injury is here for Tampa's defense. David Savard, upper body injury. He didn't play in game 1. And then Cernak goes down. So Cooper says he expects Cernak to be okay and Savard day-to-day. Who knows what that's all about. But if you take 2 of the defensemen out of the Lightning lineup, are the Hurricanes to play? How are you betting it?
So, I'll give you a little update on those injuries. So, Savard doesn't look like he's going to be playing. Jim Cernak, they both skated, but Cernak looks to be okay, even though he took pretty sure he took that headshot there into the board. So, glad he's okay. But in this game, guys, this is a real tough one. I'll start off with they got to find a way to beat Vasilevsky. He's actually been up with the Vezina Award with 2 other goalies, Jim Fleury and Grubauer. So just proves how good he's been. The big issue here with Carolina for me, Jim, is going to be they got to keep getting pucks to the net. If they don't get pucks to the net, it's going to be too easy. This kind of reminds me of Price with the Toronto series. Vasilevsky can steal this series for Tampa Bay if he keeps standing on his head. Overall here, guys, I got a bunch of plays. One issue too, Jim, is faceoffs. I don't like the way Tampa Bay's been looking on the faceoff draw. They really got outplayed in that first game. They just kind of held the push from Carolina in that first period because, like you said, Carolina looked really good, but they held that push, and then Tampa Bay came back with a goal. Overall, though, I'm going to be looking towards Carolina, Jim, with you. Minus 105. I took it at minus 111 the full game. Overall, I watched some interviews here. They're going to keep pounding the puck, keeping getting the puck down low. That's a big thing. Brind'Amour was saying they got to get the puck down low. Overall, also here, guys, they have expected goals. I always look at the expected goals, Jim. 2.76 for Carolina, 2.36 for Tampa Bay. So Carolina did have the number. It was just Vasilevsky. It's very similar to the Toronto series, how Montreal, like I said, stole it with Price. But it's Trocheck and Necas are the 2 guys you want to look out for Carolina. 1.01, 0.73 goals, expected goals last game, Jim. Point, Coleman, those are the 2 guys for Carolina. Point, you can't say nothing against what Point's been doing. He's been looking really good. I do like the full game on Carolina here, guys. I also played Carolina to score first here, Jim. Just like you said, they haven't scored first lately, but I expect them to come out here. I don't think Vasilevsky's going to, they just need a little more puck luck, Carolina. They didn't get any, they were so close to scoring, but, Vasilevsky plays really good in between the posts. But, I'm going to go Carolina score first here, guys. I'm not taking the full game or the first period, just because it could be a bounce back here. I could see Tampa Bay scoring again. Neto Djokovic, he's looked really good, guys, but it's a really tough position for him. He's going up against the defending Stanley Cup champions, AHL goalie. What do you think, Jim? I want to hear what you got to say on this one.
Well, I was hoping that Cernak would be out of the lineup.
Yeah, even so, he's not going to be 100%.
Well, if it's a possible head injury, then I think that someone can come back at 100%. Just say, look, I wasn't concussed. I'm fine. I'm good to go. It's different when it's like a lower body injury or a shoulder or something, and something's wrong. I think the loss of Nino Niederreiter is big. He sometimes has hands of stone and he drives me crazy, but he's a big guy.
A guy in front of the net, yeah.
Yeah, and that helps. And the more I talk about it, the more fear I get back in Carolina.
I know. I had a hard time kind of talking this game out because I want to take Carolina, but it's just so tough going up against because like I said, it feels like the Toronto-Montreal series, and Toronto couldn't beat Price. And Carolina, Jim, if you think about it, they're kind of similar to Toronto. They're a young team. They got a young coach, goalie. It kind of reminds me of the similar series. So I do like Carolina here, guys. I went score first. I even took Carolina team total over here, Jim. I'm going to stick to what I originally thought here. 2.5 minus 129 at Pinnacle. Score first, team total over 2.5, guys. Full game money line. And this is the one I also took both teams to score in the third period here. That's at plus 155. If I just look at I got so many notes here. Carolina at home, Jim, 3 goals, 4 in the first, 1 in the second, 7 in the third. They're really good in the third period. And if you look at Tampa Bay on the road, they're 4 in the first, 3 in the second, and 4 in the third. And they also give up 5 goals in the third period, Tampa Bay on the road. That's their worst period. So I could see this kind of starting off slow. I don't have enough balls here to take the first period under here because I do think you could see 2 goals. But overall, guys, I think we can see some goals late, plus 155. That's my big plus money play of the day here. Both teams will score in the third period. I do like that. And I also have 2 player props, Jim.
When I look now at this lineup, I mean, I love Svechnikov and Stahl together, but you take Niederreiter out and you put Brock McGinn up on that first line.
Yeah.
That hurts them. Aho, Teravainen, Brock McGinn. I mean, Aho is a very good centerman, tough. Reminds me of Barkov a little. And then that second line, got Necas, who's been good, and Trocheck, who I love. But then you got Martinuk on the left wing. So you have Brock McGinn. He's the 112th ranked left winger from Corsi numbers. Jordan Martinuk, the 107th ranked left winger in Corsi numbers. And you're going to send them up against a Lightning team whose forwards are so dangerous.
Yeah, and they had a slow first game too. They didn't do much in that first game either.
Yeah, so my whole plan was to back the Hurricanes. I just wanted to talk it out with you, and now I don't know if I can do it. If you look at the guys that are going to be throwing at them, and we're talking from Corsi ratings, the 13th ranked center in Point and the 39th ranked center in Cirelli, the number 2 ranked right winger in Kucherov, the number 4 ranked right winger in Stamkos. You have Palat, who's 69th ranked left winger, and he was incredible this year. Killorn's the 29th ranked left winger. And then we've all watched how good Barclay Goodrow, Blake Coleman are playing together on the third line.
It's a really good third line.
So I guess I've got cold feet. North Ender says the series will be unders, in my opinion. I'm starting to think that will be the case.
Yeah, so how I see this game going, guys, I see Carolina getting up 1-0 in the first period, Tampa Bay coming back 1-1, maybe even 2-1 Carolina, and then the third period they're going to see some more goals open up a little bit. My issue here, Jim, is going to be, just like you said, with McGinn and Teravainen. Teravainen, I'm actually going against him. I said I had 2 player props. I have a Point for Tampa Bay. I'm taking Point at plus 130 over Teravainen. He just has to have more points. That's 3-way, so we can't have the tie. And I also have Trocheck. I really like what Trocheck's been doing, Jim. He's looking really good on that second line with Necas. And Martinuk, I don't mind him. It's going to be McGinn, Aho, and Teravainen. It's going to look a lot different, and that's why I think Point in that first line can expose them a bit. But you got Svechnikov, Stahl, Jim. He was 12 of 6 on faceoffs. He's a faceoff beast. So you know what? I think it's going to be a lot closer game. I do see a little more goals here. I know you guys are saying unders, but this third period, my favorite play on this card, Jim, is probably both teams to score in the third period. More I think about it.
I think that's a great look. One that I don't know if I've ever bet before. That prop. It's a really good one.
Plus 155. And the more I looked into these stats, 4 goals, 4 for Tampa, 5 against in the third as well. Carolina's been really good in the third period, though. In the playoffs, only 1 goal against. But this is Tampa Bay, and you just named off all those forwards and how good their Corsi ratings are. So at all my plays, guys, I probably do like both teams to score in the third period, plus 155. I do have a full unit on that. And some player props, Trocheck over Gord, plus 175. Point over Teravainen, plus 130. Full game Carolina. Carolina team total over 2.5. And Carolina score first.
Well, tomorrow we have 2 riveting games. Jets, Canadians. The line's out now, minus 130 for the Jets, and the total at 5.5, minus 140 to the under. And then we have
in the first 9 minutes, 30 seconds. Book it, Jack, right there.
That's an interesting look. Yeah, I like it. And then Avalanche with the exact same line, minus 180 and plus 140.
I love your Avs look. Before we go, Jim, I love your Avs look. I can't believe how good they looked in that first game.
Yeah,
I know it was without Fleury, but wow.
Yeah, and then the opportunity now with the Leafs not moving on means that in the next round, the Avs, if they make it through Vegas, they get to play the winner of Jets Habs. I mean, it's a pretty sweet position to be in, and
That's awesome.
and I won't shave. I won't shave until McKinnon holds the cup over his head. I shouldn't say that. I won't shave until he either holds the cup over his head or gets knocked out.
I had to clean up there. It was about time there, Jamie. Got the haircut. Stash is gone, so we're ready to.
Good hustle.
I don't know if I should have though, because we went 8-0 right last week. Hopefully,
you were incredible. 8-0 last week. All right, we got to go. Head over to Babano and CMAC right now. We're gonna have more time for NHL tomorrow, I promise, because we have 2 huge games that we want to spend a lot of time with. Head over to Babano and CMAC right now. Thank you guys for all your insight and support. I don't know if I'm gonna make a move on this hockey game all of a sudden. I don't know if I'm gonna make a move. I don't know.
Check out my action on Twitter. They're ego47_ guys. I'll tweet out all my action, and both teams to score a third period. Let's cash that one.
Let's do it. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Gogster. I can't wait for tomorrow. Can you let's us out of here, my friend?
As always, guys, do what we did last week. We're gonna leche those bookmakers to sleep. Leche los bookmakers.
Mr. Gogster eating last night, baby. Great work.
Let's talk it out. Didn't work out too well, but thought about it, Jim, because I thought Pittsburgh would come out firing here.
Le Habitant.
I
haven't watched it.
Oh God! So let's get to the particulars here, Jim.
Extremely interesting.
They need to start getting more pucks on net. You see, that's why I wanted to take the over right away. I'll have them on my Twitter there, guys. Ego47.
Mr. Gogster, my man, coming off a gorgeous day. Can you let's us out of here into the weekend?
Absolutely, guys. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. Have a great weekend. Cash some tickets, and don't forget to always leche los bookmakers.